What's up, YouTube? You're watching Mike Plays Blind, and welcome back to the Beginner's Guide. Now, last time it actually didn't save our progress for some reason. I got back to where, well, I know this is where we left off at, but for whatever reason, I guess there's no division between the Mobius Trip chapter and then this one, which I blanked out on what the name of it was. But anyway, we'll just start off here by saying hello. Hello. Wow, this looks a lot different than the other work we've seen from Coda. That music is strange. It kind of reminds me of the soundtrack for that movie, The Beach. Where did this island come from? How do I get out of here? Hello, is anyone there? Actually, I think I'll just say hello again. That breathing sounded like it was like right behind us. Oh, weird. We turn around and then full circle, and all of a sudden there's another one in front of us. I wonder if that was never mind. Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. I'm completely out of ideas. When I try to create, I feel empty. I have nothing left to give my work. Those don't sound so much like choices as they do like parts of a complete statement. So let's go with 2. When I try to create, I feel empty. Oh no! What happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me, to start up again. And again, that just seems like it's a whole statement, not necessarily like, you know, it doesn't seem like the responses I would choose from, but let's go with the first one anyway. Let's see, the island disappears, we walk. Yep. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. What? You have to take me to it. I need to see it. I need to know why it stopped. I can take you to it.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11.
Yeah.
Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
Well, on one hand, it kind of does seem like he's reaching out, but then on the other, maybe this is his way of dealing with it, that, you know, from what we've been told previously, he likes the repetition and the patterns and all that he includes in his games. Maybe creating these games is his way of dealing with it. Let's see, I can take you to it, but there's a problem. It's guarded by a difficult puzzle. I bet I know what puzzle that is. If you can help me solve the puzzle, we'll find the machine. Deal? I can say either deal, or it doesn't matter what I say, does it? We're gonna end up there one way or another, right? I'm gonna go with that. And of course I pressed 3, but it said deal. This is really cool looking. Perfect, come along, I'll show it to you.
Because from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Well, maybe he didn't want to share the games with anybody. Well, you know, I was actually thinking about something when I was editing the last video, specifically the part at the beginning with the notes. And I play a lot of these games by indie developers that I grab off of Game Jolt and all that. You know, some of them are students, some of them are just small projects or whatnot. But some of them are good, some of them are bad. But either way, like, they're all people that are trying to reach out and maybe just get feedback or some recognition or just share something they created. And a lot of them, nobody really ever gets a chance to see. Like, I might go back and check a week after I've done a video on something and maybe 30 people have played it. And that's got to be kind of disappointing if you put all that time and energy and effort into making something and then nobody ever looks at it. Nobody ever, well, that's another thing. A lot of people don't ever comment or give any kind of feedback. I don't know, maybe I was just overthinking it, but it was just something that was going through my head. So anyway, perfect. Come along, I'll show it to you. Here's the puzzle. What do you think? Hey, I recognize this. I've solved this puzzle before. This is easy. 2. Oh, wonderful. Can you tell me how to do it? First you have to close the door, first you have to open the door, first you have to press the switch on the inside. So first you have to open the door. Okay, now what? Then you close the door. Let's run in here so we don't get caught. Now you have to close the first door. Oh wait. Alright, what's next? Now just press the switch here. What would have happened if I would have stayed outside the door?
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Whoa. I feel empty. These look like there are all of our responses for the dialogue from this game. Ah, that was so simple. I can't believe I've never solved this before. Okay, here we are. What are you talking about? There's no machine here. These are just words and some walls. And again, those just seem like a complete statement to me. So there's no machine here. Trust me, you'll see. You have to say your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. Ugh. It's getting kind of dark. Okay, making games is simple. Sure, making games is easy. Alright, making games is effortless. Whoa. Ah, that feels wonderful. But it wasn't true. Why did the walls just crumble? Why did I feel so awful when I said that? It wasn't true. Don't worry about it. Just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. When I make games, I feel completely energized. I'm constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. It is easy. It never stops being easy. Yes, that's wonderful. Keep going.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
Yes, that's wonderful. Keep going. Every time I make something, I feel better about myself. Just never stop creating, and you'll never feel bad. It's such a simple solution. Ugh.
This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
Yeah, this is definitely like a lot more blatant than we've seen it in his previous games. Man, perfect. That feels fantastic. None of this is helping. I'm gonna vomit. Please, where's the machine? Patience. You have to trust me. I promise this will work. Please continue. Pain breezes effortlessly off me. Any sacrifices made for my work are worth it 100% of the time. It always pays off eventually. Yikes.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Ugh. Yeah, these are definitely getting a lot darker. Yes, more, keep going. There is no shame, no fear, no guilt. I will be saved by my work. I believe this, unquestioningly. I'm a vassal for certainty. Well, there's the prison again and the lamppost. Incredible, that's it. I'm free. Oh, is there somebody? Yeah, there's somebody in the jail. Oh, it's a girl. And it's gone.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
So the time interval just keeps increasing and increasing with what he's creating, but I keep wondering if there's more to this, more to what he's telling us. The machine. So we got another box head. This one just says guard on it. It looks like the door puzzle again. Yeah, I'm glad to see you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I intend to be quick, I intend to be quiet, or I intend to be brutal. I intend to be quick, I guess? Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one thing that you should know about the machine, it calls itself Coda. So I wonder never mind. I was going to say, I wonder if Coda is, if we're going to find out that this is all just Davey and Coda's a pseudonym for him or for his, I don't know. I've got nothing on that. Never mind. Whoa. What is the machine? Sorry, these are popping up so fast, it's kind of hard to read them. Hello? Can we get answers? How did you capture it? What can you tell us? Do you know where the poisonous games come from? That's interesting. I was actually not expecting a literal machine at the end of this. I was kind of expecting it to be something else.
And
all right,
of course,
Coda.
It's the machine.
You stopped. It's my only choice. You stopped feeding us. Your work was keeping us alive. Your work was keeping us healthy. You stopped feeding us. Those people out there, can you imagine the pain you put them through? It was only because of your creations that any of us could make it through every day. How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job? There's people out there. Can you imagine what pain you put them through? So here's what needs to happen. You need to go out there and apologize to them. You have to admit to the people that you allowed them to suffer. I've been so alone. I kind of wonder if I should go with the third choice because it seems different than the other two. I've been so alone. Apologize for leaving me. No, nothing. Think carefully. I know how to hurt you. I have seen the thing you fear. Let's go. No, nothing. That is really an ominous sound, too. Alright then. I'll apologize to the people on your behalf. And then the machine stopped and the door opened. Whoa. This isn't where I parked my car. My followers or my friends. Let's go with my friends. It looks like the font is bigger on the top choice than the bottom one. Maybe not, but... My friends. It falls on me to deliver some bad news, or I have a troubling revelation. First one. The machine will not apologize to us. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. It refuses to apologize. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We have to find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. With the first one again. Let us pay it retribution. Let us show it that we are not failures. We'll show it. Yeah, let's do that. Follow me. We will destroy the machine. Follow me. We'll destroy everything the machine created. We'll destroy everything the machine's created. But yeah, I really don't like either of those choices. But not my game. Oh. So now we're back at the stage. Oh, and the door's gone. And our gun's back. Yeah, this is definitely getting a little more... almost like he's lashing out. I wonder if... whoa. I wonder if it's from the frustration, or even what the frustration's directed at. Looks like we got an invisible wall behind the curtains. Yeah, this is definitely kind of screwed up that maybe he's just so frustrated with either the development process
the work
or
is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation.
whoa.
And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because
I don't
it
know,
would never
though.
occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback. So, what if I did it for it?
What if you're
If
the
he could
problem?
see the
What if he
difference it
didn't?
would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings? Would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Maybe he was just, oh yeah, we're destroying everything that we'd been through before. Maybe he didn't want to, though. Maybe he was just doing this for him, that he didn't necessarily want to share all these, and maybe we're looking, at least with some of these, we're looking too deep to try to find a meaning. And maybe they were just games he wanted to create. Kind of feel bad destroying all this stuff. I don't really seem to have a choice. And oh, there's the door down below us. And we're falling.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. The point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
So did that just push him deeper into his whatever? I can't seem to do anything. Put down your weapon. Put down your weapon. Oh, there's my weapon. Well, I can't move. Looks like this enter doesn't do anything. Space. E. Well, E shoots.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need. To be told that my work is good. That I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good. Like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
Yikes. This is starting to sound a lot more like Davey's doing this for himself than he was for Coda. At least to me.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while.
I'm pretty
So
sure I
this
just
is
stated the
June of
obvious there.
2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
Okay. So after this, he just stopped, and then you released all his games? The Tower. This looks kind of familiar.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
I kind of like the look of this. It reminds me of something, and I can't quite put my finger on what it is. Oh, maybe it'll come to me.
This room actually has a maze in it.
Really? That...
Except
Just
that
get
all
shocked?
the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable.
You're funny,
The game goes
Coda.
beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let Coda beat me that easily. Let's see. This way? This way. Nope. Yeah, I think this is impossible, so... Huh. It does look like the wall panels from Portal, only in yellow. It's another like massive empty space. I wonder if there's going to be some kind of deeper meaning to that too that I'm not seeing yet.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
Maybe Coda just likes making games that like troll the player. Oh, this looks fun.
The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code.
That's funny.
Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Hey, we had 3 of those. Maybe I should go buy a lottery ticket. Or maybe I'm psychic and just didn't know it. So it's 151617. I think I'll have to go back and look. Did I have a 7 on the end before I started screwing around with it too? I think I stopped on 7 the first time. 6-1. Maybe not. Sorry, I thought I saw something out of the corner of my eye. I guess not. Should I jump back down and take another go at the maze? I mean, this kind of seems like end of the last game too. We're destroying all of his other work. Just this starting to seem more like Coda just like lashing out, like he's frustrated either. Well, maybe even at Davey. Or just frustrated with his work in general. Yep. This looks final.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side.
Hooray.
So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges, and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress.
You're gonna help
It's
with that,
scary
right?
For me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem.
Well, maybe that
I
was
feel
the
like a
problem.
failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem.
Well, some people don't want
But I can
the
open this door
problem
for you,
fixed,
so let me do that.
so to speak. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe it was Davey.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why.
Well, maybe we'll see here at the end. We'll figure it out. I don't know that there's got to be a solution.
I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew. It wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them...
I don't know about that. I mean, at least to me, it doesn't seem like this is a far step from a lot of his previous work, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at it differently. So I keep looking around at all this. I feel like
I had been
we're
trying
missing
to.
something.
That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean.
Yeah, what
And
about
he
those
wouldn't.
3 dots? So I thought Davey was going to have more to say there for some reason. Is this just an endless tower? Is that going to be the next thing he tells us? It is a cool level design. I still can't quite remember what this reminds me
I
of.
just
Maybe
felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
When you say he left, what do you mean?
Where did I screw up?
I don't know, did you just push the guy too hard and then he disappeared on you, or did you say something or do something to drive him away? Oh, this is different. The music suddenly stopped. Dear Davey, thank you for your interest in my games.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did.
Uh-oh, what did you
Poisoned
do?
it for you.
Thank you for interest in my games. I need to ask you not to speak to me anymore. Yikes.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
I heard a click back here. So again, it seemed more like Davey's doing this for his benefit than for Coda's. I wonder if Coda kind of started to see that. I wonder at times whether you think I'm making these games for you. Oh, maybe that click was these opening. Strange sounds. Maybe I've been playing too many horror games.
And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
Ugh. Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if Coda had even told him not to before he went and did it. And now, this is even worse, putting them for sale on Steam. Would you stop changing my games, stop adding lampposts to them? I thought he said that Coda put in those lampposts, that it was his, how he concluded all the games.
And then you stopped. And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened,
Wow.
There was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing.
You desperately need something, and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than me. Yeah. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine. You're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks, that you make peace with this thing you're wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
Well, starting to look that way. And when you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything. Here's the puzzle. One last time, I assume.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work. Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything.
We can't solve it this time.
So a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me?
Yes.
Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me.
Yes.
Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Yikes, and the walls are closing in on us there. Is that the end? Or did the game freeze? Let me try moving. Epilogue. Okay, I guess I had to touch a key for it to trigger. But yikes, that's it's a little dark. This looks like a train station. I kind of wonder, is this story for this game, is this something that Davey...
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
Yeah, it's an addiction. This must be our train. Hear the voices of all the people that aren't there.
Solution. Solution. Solution.
Very cool. I have a thought, but I keep waiting to share
Guess
it.
if someone
Yeah.
had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed.
You told people he was depressed?
Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Yeah. Yikes. I guess people know not to share anything with you. I feel like how there's like a balcony over there and no way to get to it.
The disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Well, never mind. Is that it? My cursor flashed on the screen for a second. Okay, now we're in a cave. Or something. Come on, Davey, talk to me.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Really? Like, not just doing something, being creative, and...
What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna...
Okay, Davey. See you later. Wonder if he's really gone. Okay, what I was going to say a little bit ago was, I wonder if the story for this game is based on something that actually happened to Davey, or if this is just like a creative idea that he came up with. Oh, this is a cool landscape. Or if this is kind of like the situation was reversed, like what maybe it is something that happened to him, but the way it happened to him, he was more of the Coda character than the Davey character. Or maybe this is something he did to someone else and just didn't realize what he was doing until later. If these really are Coda's ideas, like he definitely has interesting ideas for set designs. Up here's the drop down again to the room we can't escape from. Oh, and the floor's going up. I'm starting to think Davey's really not going to talk again. I don't know. I mean, this is definitely a very... I mean, it's a linear game. It's just a story on rails, but it is very... It has been very interesting. It does make you think about a variety of things. This is back in the train station again. A little different though. And so far, I've enjoyed it. I mean, this is It's nothing like the Stanley Parable. But, it's definitely quite an experience. There's the, sound of the birds from the, title screen of the game. Something just happened, or is that just thunder? Is that a storm coming? What is this? Oh, that's the whisper machine. So is this going to kill us, or is this going to make us float over the... so we can see the big picture finally? Oh, good, we're floating. And all the sound stopped. But there we go. Sorry, I was shaking my mouse again because that seemed to be... with starting this chapter, that seemed to be what I had to do. Wow. That's cool. Overall, I've enjoyed this. I mean, it's definitely been quite an experience. Oh, is that it? I'll include a link in the description as always. Yeah, it looks like this is the end. If it turns out there's anything else, I'll cut back to it. But I'll include a link in the description as always for the game in case you want to try it out for yourself. I enjoyed it. So, thanks again for watching, everybody, and I'll be back again soon with more.